If you found this video, you're trying to quit or stumbled upon it thinking, I don't really need to see this because I'm on like day 30 of NoFap. This video is for everyone. People who aren't addicted or are addicted to pornography. This is for everyone. The question that I asked myself, and including yourself, had probably asked, why am I still addicted? I've tried to get rid of this for 3 months, a year, 2 years, even 3 years, and you're still addicted. Why? Why can't I shake this off? And I think this is a more important issue that's being more expressed now with a lot of people, and that is why, like, there's so much advice out there on how to quit, yet you're still addicted. This video will just cut all that out, all the noise and nonsense. This is the straightforward way to quit pornography without any sort of gimmick or any sort of way. And guess what? This way, it will range from relatively easy to enjoyable. You're going to enjoy quitting pornography. You're not going to feel mopey about it. You're not going to be down and sad and feeling like you're trying to battle something. It's actually quite the opposite. You're going to enjoy it. This is somewhat of a summary and my experience with the Easy Peasy method. It is a book that you can find on YouTube. It's an audiobook that you can find on YouTube. Just search up Easy Peasy method to quit pornography. It's very good. It's a very good book. It's 100% worth your read. And if you're addicted to anything else, this method will still work to those methods as well. So you can adapt it to weed, or you can adapt it to smoking, or you can adapt it to video games. Whatever you're trying to quit, you can adapt this to that, and you can quit whatever you want with this method. And it range from relatively easy to enjoyable. This is the Easy Peasy method summarized and in my own words, as well as in my own story. My name is Daniel, and welcome to the channel. I'll share my story that hopefully you can relate to in my finding of pornography and my subsequently letting go of it and not engaging in it, because I found the easy way out, and it's been enjoyable ever since. And I hope you can take from this. I was just a kid, 10, 11 years old. I get this game called Cats. It's like Crash Arena Tech something. And it's an acronym for basically robot vehicles with cats controlling them. Anyway, it's a game I got on like a little phone. And I also got it later on with an iPad as well. And it had a bunch of buttons for its advertising. So you can say, hey, go subscribe to this YouTube channel, and it funnels you to the YouTube channel. Well, I'm 10, 11, curious young boy, and I find the YouTube one. So I click it, I go to subscribe, takes me to their page. I'm like, oh, I can see all these videos. So I click onto the YouTube homepage, and I find a music video. Year later, fast forward, I get the iPad. Found a way to get unrestricted web access, which is, as a 12-year-old, you have unrestricted web access, you're doomed. 7 years from that point, I found my online, what I'm going to call harem. It's basically the group of websites I would use. I just I use mainly it's what I used, and uh, I watched it daily, literally daily, 2 to 3 times a day. Each session would go from 30 to 40 minutes. I was horrible in school, and that's probably the reason I was horrible in school, was because I was always thinking about that. And it didn't really occur to me that this was a problem until 2023, when I stumbled across a video by I Am Lucid, and it was talking about that, and I'm like, huh. And then I just keep watching him, and then he's saying about these streaks and everything way back when he was on day 300. Not at this point, but that's the videos I was watching. And so the streaks, I was thinking of streaks like that. So I tried to go for a long streak. I go 21 days. At the start of 2023, I go 21 days. And then I relapse. Uh, it it can feel like there's no escape. And if you have that mindset that you can't escape, that is what will not let you escape. You need to reframe your mind, and this video will show you how, as well as the book that I will link in the description, the website where you can read it, or the audiobook where you can listen to it while you're at work, doing something work-wise, whatever you're doing, you can listen to it. And so you can see how 21 days, boom, I was watching porn daily, to 21 days, nothing. And I just give in. I go another 9 day streak, and then boom, back to once every 2 to 3 days. And now I feel almost worse than what I did before I even started, even though I was doing it less. And so I don't even try until really the beginning of August to September. And what I do is I see a Hamza video, and he's talking about how you can cut down with bad habits. He was saying how, like you've been watching it since you were 10, and since you were 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, sometimes as low as 7 years old, and you've been watching it for your entire life. And now you're, say, 17, you started it at 10, there's 40% of your life. If you spend every other day 30-minute session, that's literally a month of your life straight that you're watching pornography. So you got to understand that it has affected your life. It's been a part of your life. It's been around for 40 to 50% of your entire life, has been seen with that around it. And so it was a very good video at the time, uh, because I actually felt like I could do something. And that's the key point, is knowing that you can do something. That's one of the key points that I will get later into this video. You can do something about this. And then I go a full month. Boom, relapse. I go a full month again. Boom, relapse. By this point, it's the end of October. Yeah. Or no. I think, yes, I do it 3 times, where I go a month. Then I get to November. And start of November, that's the relapse. Basically, I go a full month, and then I relapse. I don't know why. I just couldn't get over 30 days. And so I look up how to quit porn. I just quit porn. That's what I searched up. And I found the book. The easy peasy method to quit pornography. It was a spinoff of Alan Carr's easy peasy method to quit cigarettes. And it's a very good book, and personally, the one I would recommend to anyone for any sort of addiction. Just replace pornography with weed, video games, whatever you're dealing with, just replace the item that it's talking about with the item you're trying to get rid of. And it works. It 100% works. I'm going on 2 months now, and boom, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm more happy than ever, and you can be too. Like I said, this method ranges from relatively easy to enjoyable. It's enjoyable to quit pornography. Back to what Hamza said, cut down, make it longer periods of times where you're not looking to pornography, and then eventually you'll forget about it. I see a lot of people who say they've quit and they're lower channels, a lot less subscribers, around 1 to 2,000 subscribers, and they say the whole point of it is to quit pornography and then to forget pornography. It's to forget it even exists. You can't do that. After months of trying, I've tried. It doesn't work. What actually works is being mindful for the fact that it's everywhere, but you're not a user, because what does porn do for you? It does nothing for you. And that's a point I'll get into later as well. Porn does nothing for you. It does nothing. It does absolutely nothing for you. Get that clear in your mind. It does nothing for you. There's no goods in pornography. There's a few perceived benefits, but they don't really add up to much. There are no upsides to pornography. It creates the problems that it feels like it solves. It creates those problems. And so with this cutting down, it allowed for me to have a period where I can still abstain from pornography, but then my mindset will carry on for the rest of my life on how I'm quitting pornography. I had my last session. I will never look back. I am happier now than I have ever been quitting pornography, watching pornography. I've never been happier. When you quit pornography, you look for videos on how to quit pornography, and most of them always say the downsides to quitting pornography, such as porn-induced erectile dysfunction, increased anger, anxiety, depression, just the whole range of just bad emotions. Now let's talk about the benefits to quitting pornography, because this is going to be helpful. It won't be the focus, because the main benefit to quitting pornography is you're no longer watching pornography, and you're not a slave to a trap that's trapping you. You're no longer a slave to pornography. That is the number one benefit. Get that clear in your mind. That's the number one benefit. Quitting pornography is the number one benefit of quitting pornography. What it does increase is an increased testosterone, better focus from whatever you're doing, freedom from slavery. Quitting pornography is the best result of quitting pornography. Not having that nagging feeling in the back of your mind that says you're such a horrible human being for looking at this stuff. You're not going to have that anymore. You'll have the odd pang and wanting to watch pornography, but you will have a less sexualized mind to want to watch pornography. It's not going to be a major thing, and that's not going to be like something that will cloud your mind. The more and more time that passes on, the better your mental state is going to be. This is where I recommend meditating, mindfulness meditation. There's a app on the App Store, I think also in the Google Play Store, called Medito. There's many courses on mindfulness meditation and how and what it is and how to get into it. And they have many courses on that. Go ahead and get yourself into that. 3 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, whatever you want to do. It'll help bring you to mindful state where you can say, hey, I don't want to watch porn. It'll help increase your awareness in the present moment. Seeing that you're no longer in an addiction is great for your mental state. I'm no longer addicted, so I don't need to put myself down on a lower pedestal. I am deserving of blank because you're no longer addicted. You put yourself at a lower pedestal if you're addicted to something, and you put yourself below other people, which most people are addicted to the same things you are. I'm gonna be for real. Like it's not like there's people above you that can control their feeling or their addictions better than you can. If you're addicted, you're addicted. Doesn't matter if you go 1 month without doing it or you go every day. You're addicted no matter what time frame you manage to stay away from the said addiction. You're addicted either way. So you can, with this last benefit, you are going to feel way better about your self-esteem. You're going to just feel better about yourself in general. You're no longer addicted. You're now a free person. This is going to be something that will be a benefit when you quit porn. Keep this in mind when I tell you the steps to fully quit porn forever. So, just one peak. It is the destruction and end of all no-fap streaks. Any streak is ended by just one peak. Because what you're doing, if there's a hill, smooth hill like this, you have a ball at the top, just one peak, pushing it slightly forward. And then at a certain point in that just one peak becomes a second peak. And now it rolls down, boom. You can't stop it once it starts rolling down. And that's the undoing of 1 year no fap streaks to 3 months to 1 month to 4 days. Just one more peak, one last peak, one last visit, one last. If you don't start doing it pretense, that was the last time I looked. That's the last time that I looked way back then. Versus this will be the last time. This is the last time. And then start having a positive mindset to that was my last time. That was the final time. I'm never gonna do it again. That was the last time. Have a positive mindset. Never look back at that. Never look back at it as a bad thing. That was the best choice you've ever made in your entire life. The undoing of all streaks, the undoing of you wanting to stop pornography is just one peak. It is not just one peak. It is another visit to the harem, and it will cause you to do the next visit. Each visit to the online harem will increase how likely you are to visit the next one. Don't fall for this trap. It's the undoing of all streaks. And if you can stop it now. It is very important. Cutting down. Cutting down will be a part of what you need to do, sort of. It is a good idea to slowly increase how long you're being indistant from pornography, but not to have a dislike by the fact that, oh, I have given up pornography. It's not that mindset that you're trying to get. That's not the mindset you want, and that's something we're going to correct here. So cutting down, it's a thing that Hamza, um, I think a guy named Jake Piggott on YouTube as well said, and it's like to slowly decrease it. And with habits, that's a good way to, if you slowly increase the habit, you go, well, I'm going to do 1 push-up a day. Then increase it to 2 push-ups a day, 3 push-ups, and then you get 50 push-ups eventually, 100 push-ups eventually, 100 push-ups eventually, 250, 500, 1,000 push-ups a day. But you have to begin at 1 push-up a day, 2 push-up a day, 3 push-up a day. You gotta exponentially increase. It does work when you're creating habits, and sometimes when you're breaking bad habits. But this isn't a bad habit. This is drug addiction that you're dealing with. You're getting rid of an addiction that's basically feeding off of a drug, dopamine, and you're getting rid of it. So don't think you're getting rid of a bad habit when you cut down. When you cut down, it gives the illusion that you're being free from it. No, you haven't quit until you say, I've quit, and you never look back. You can do it, you just have to quit. Cutting down will help in quitting, as in you don't have a desire for this certain period of time. If you think about it during this period of time too much, then it's not going to really help if you want to do that. If you're happy during this time or trying to find a purpose, it will be beneficial. But if you are always moping about quitting pornography during this period of abstinence, during the cutting down, like I'll do it once a week, and then I'll do it once 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, once a month, once every 2 months, and you're really down and sad, and you don't ever schedule your next porn visit, ever. Don't ever do it. That is setting up yourself up for failure. That's something you don't want to do. And so that is an illusion of cutting down, that you can feel like you're doing more, but you're still addicted and you still have to kick the addiction. And so cutting down, people who quit through cutting down quit despite cutting down. Having your last visit will be a more beneficial way to do it. And that's what I did. That's what I did. Though I cut down beforehand, so I was doing it 1 month at a time, not on what I really wanted. I wanted to quit it entirely, but I was going 1 month in between. And so trying to quit, doing it a month in between each session became easier almost to quit fully. Cutting down slightly and each bit at a time may work for some people. Cutting that out entirely will work for others. You just have to find your right balance and then to eliminate it entirely eventually. But what do you need to do beforehand? The goal of this is to have fun while you're quitting pornography. You want to quit pornography. Why? Because it's not that it's fun. You want to quit pornography because pornography isn't fun. Whenever you're doing the deed, you're not enjoying it. You may think it feels relieving or it reduces stress, but it doesn't. So keep that in mind. Porn does nothing good for you. keep that in mind. You want to quit. You either cut down, quit and completely, or just quit completely. Both will work. Both have different people who will be affected by this. Triggers. Quit looking at them. The YouTube thumbnail, the Instagram model, the person on Discord that you see send some sort of NSFW image, the Snapchat DMs, whatever it is, uh, Twitter images. Though I didn't get there, I know that a lot of people do that. So that is another thing you have to be worried about. Uh, Remove ways to see that. So, like for YouTube, for example, they have the restricted mode. You can do that. You put that on. Slightly annoying, but it'll be better. There's also like YouTube thumbnail removers on desktop that'll work. There isn't one on iPad. There might be one on an Android, or like what I mean by iPad is Apple devices. They won't usually have it for Apple devices, but if you jailbreak it, which I don't recommend, I'm just gonna keep my iPad how it is and have the restricted mode enabled so that that isn't a commonplace. Mindfulness is a really good technique here to use. So whenever you see those triggers that get you into the mood to go have a harem visit, you decide, you know what? This is what it is. It's a way to get me to watch pornography and to stray away from my path and my purpose. So you're gonna have to find purpose. That's one major thing that's in this technique. You're gonna have purpose that you have to find, and the way to quit. Those two together will be how you quit, and it'll make it relatively easy to enjoyable. And what you need to remove is those triggers at first glance. So when you first quit, you're gonna see so many triggers. You're gonna feel like you see so many triggers. Like, oh, this is a trigger. This is a trigger. Label it. What is it trying to do? Is this Instagram model trying to be exaggerate with her features, or is this image on Twitter? Is it to appeal to uh, crazed fantasies, like absurd pornography? What is it appealing to? Label it and quit it. You label it, you go ahead and just take a step back, close out what you were doing, and go do something else. Just take note that this is a way that it tries to tempt you back into the porn trap, and just acknowledge that and carry on with your day. This is a way I've gotten to get over like any like temptation or any sort of uh, thing that pops up on my screen. I've just acknowledged it, labeled what it was trying to appeal to in my mind, and then refresh the page, let go, put like do not share channel again if it was a channel that was common for that. Block the models or Instagram people that you follow that do that. Just quit it and go on with your life. Your perception of your bad habit. Pornography is not a bad habit, it is drug addiction. So get that clear in your head. It is drug addiction. It is not a bad habit. Once you fire up the browser, you go on to your harem visit, you are going to increase how much dopamine your body uses right then and there. And your dopamine spikes. And then after it spikes, it goes down and it goes below the baseline, and you feel more depressed. This book called The Easy Peasy Method to Quitting Pornography, which I'm using this as a reference to how to quit pornography, easy and fun. It we'll have a idea of pornography as the brainwashing monster and the little monster that's in your brain that tells you these thoughts. So your need for your pornography, just like a drug addict, they're going to need more and more meth, cocaine, weed, whichever drug it is, they're going to need more of it as time goes on to relieve themselves of their need for it. Just like in pornography, the more crazed and shocking porn that you come across. So you aren't just on the front page. You go on to the second page. You go on to the third page. You just kind of search it out, and they're like, I want to look up this, look up that. And then over time, you become desensitized to crazed pornography, which at first thought and first glance, when you first got there, were like, that's insane. Why would that? Why would I ever do that? And here you are watching it. And once you finish the deed, the little monster goes and tells you, how could you? I thought you were better than this. You can't keep it up. You can't keep yourself from doing this. You can't control yourself. And there's these little ploys like this from these like almost little demons in your mind that say, hey, you can't do this because you're not good enough. That's the trap. It says that, and then later on, that same exact demon, that same exact little monster says, hey, I need to watch pornography right now. And I don't need to watch regular pornography because there isn't really regular pornography. Pornography is just bad altogether, but I don't need to watch the basic pornography. I need to go a little bit deeper the next time. I need to go into a little bit more crazed pornography this time. It's disgusting, and we both know it, but you're desensitized right now. So you can see an image and it just not even arouse you at all. But over time, you become desensitized to more and more things. The same pornography video won't do it for you anymore. The very first one that you did, it won't satisfy you anymore. This is the trap of pornography. It makes you keep going for more. It's the hunting that boosts your dopamine, not the actual deed itself. It's the hunting that gives you the satisfaction or the wanting for more, not the actual doing of the deed. So keep that in mind as we go into the next section is your perception of pornography. It's a drug addiction, not a bad habit. When you do pornography, you're going to want more and more crazy pornography, more and more abstract, uh, shocking material. You don't want basic level pornography. You want more and more shocking pornography. And so you have to keep that in mind because you can't just say, well, I'm just going to stick to this one video and that'll be what satisfies me. It won't work like that. You have to realize it will not work like that. It has to be either all or nothing. You want to quit pornography, it has to be all or nothing. Quitting can be easy, and it's actually enjoyable. You just have to believe that it is. So you're not quitting a bad habit, you're quitting drug addiction, and you're going to be happy doing it because you can quit pornography. You can quit a drug addiction. Specifically because you're happy. And this will be this chapter. Here's the perception of pornography that you will have to understand. Of course, you're going to have to understand the downsides, which are erectile dysfunction, anxiety, and anger, greatly increased anger. general unhappiness in all things, and the feeling that you need pornography to do things. You don't, but that's a feeling you get when you start to watch pornography. Decreased arousal from what would normally be, a regular lady. Now you just don't even feel anything, or the thought of what, why aren't they sleeping with me right now? Because you're expected with these actors on pornography to you expect them to act like that. Uh, Here are the upsides, though. One, absolutely nothing. There's no upside to pornography at all. It does nothing good for you, and it causes you depression, erectile dysfunction, porn induced, of course, anxiety and depression, greatly increased anger, general unhappiness in all things, and decreased arousal in regular life. Um, Increase in wanting more extreme pornography is another downside, and the need to be relieved whenever you have the urge. That is a few those are the few that I can list here. Downsides of many downsides of pornography. Suppose to the supposed upsides of pornography, which those are the problems it causes, yet those are the problems that it feels like it relieves. It doesn't. It causes them. The worse they get, the more you use pornography, the worse they get. So don't stall now. The more you use it, the worse it's going to get. So quit now while you can stay ahead. Pornography is slowly killing you. Understand this, because if you don't understand the downsides, yourbrainonporn.com is a very good idea to look at. Uh, Your Brain on Porn, the book, just look it up and read it. There's a good understanding of the downsides. If you don't know the downsides, it's good to know them, and know that you are not going to experience those downsides because you are no longer watching pornography. Understand those downsides whenever you are no longer watching pornography and you quit pornography. You are free from the trap of pornography. When you fully quit and you're free from the trap of pornography, understand the downsides so you can stop from looking at it again. It's a few ways you can look at it. Your perceived benefits of watching pornography. For everyone that watches pornography, there's a perceived feeling that it may help you in some way. Uh, it feels like it relieves stress, and it helps you calm down. It could do that, but it's like banging your head against the wall. Understand this: porn does nothing for you. There's no reason to have it. So whenever you quit pornography, keep that in mind. Porn did nothing for me. I'm quitting because it did nothing for me. You have lower chances of losing. You're not missing out on anything, and you have super high chances of winning and gaining things. You're not missing out on anything. You're not giving up anything. You are, in fact, freeing yourself from a lifetime of slavery. That's the difference here. Normal people watching pornography. For someone who lives a normal life and normal parents and a normal family, there's a feeling of, well, maybe I shouldn't be living this life. I shouldn't be doing this because I have a good life. I have a normal life. Well, that's not necessarily true, because, like all things, a lot of people who do that hear the negatives or have a negative viewpoint of pornography already preconceived. Yet they still do it. It's a weird phenomenon with the human brain, and I don't understand it quite completely, and nor does a lot of other people as well. Uh, Same thing with smoking, cigarettes. With among the medical community, about 25% of medical students smoke cigarettes. 25%, or close to it. Results may vary depending on different polls taken, and so on. And so you have to understand, like, this affects everyone. It doesn't mean if you have a normal life, there's no I should have a reason that I'm watching it. Just the first peek is all it takes. The first visit, even if you didn't want to or didn't even know it existed, the first visit is what causes the second visit. The same thing with smoking. The first smoke causes the second smoke, no matter what benefits it is perceived to have or the negatives that you hear about it. The first visit always makes it the second visit. If you could go back and go to the very first visit of pornography and not even go there and not even watch it in the first place, would you? Of course you would. It's obvious that you would. You want to quit pornography. What about not having it entirely in the first place? That's what you would want. But you have to understand it's happened, so we have to deal with it. Things happen, you have to deal with it. Here's how you deal with it. You make it easy and you make it fun. You make it fun so you can enjoy the process of quitting pornography. Isn't it marvelous that you're about to quit pornography and going to enjoy doing it? That's the mindset you should have whenever you're quitting pornography. It is the best mindset to have whenever you're quitting pornography. Purpose needed. So here's one side of the story. You want to make it easy and you want to have fun quitting pornography. Here's the other side. You're not just going to quit pornography and then just go around your normal day. You can, but having a other goal while doing it along there so you can join them together and have double happiness. So something that's hard, like the gym, and using that as a crutch, sort of, while you are quitting this is a very good idea. You can go to the gym if you've never been before, and then, or do home workouts, whatever you want to do. And you can replace the feelings that you have whenever you're about to go on a visit with doing that hard thing. Most visits also occur over a few feelings such as boredom. Uh, Sometimes, like, you want to relieve something, and then sometimes you have, most of the time, boredom. It's literally just boredom. You're bored. I'm gonna watch pornography because I'm bored. Replace the boredom with something to do. Understand that you are going to do that. Make sure your triggers, the cues that you use to watch pornography, are not there and are non-existent anymore. These are a few things you want to do after and during your quitting of pornography. And this will help you in quitting pornography as well. Purpose for me is to be a man who people rely on, and for you it may be the same thing or it may be different. Purpose comes in many different ways, and purpose is needed to quit pornography as well. You're going to have to find a purpose, whether it be short term for like 6 months, like a gym, or lifetime. Both work. You need to find a purpose, you stick to that purpose, and then alongside attach pornography, quitting pornography, and being free from the porn trap, and having a life that just skyrockets. Joining both of them together, doing something that's hard, increasing a good habit, and then associating you quitting that bad habit with that helps it tremendously. From what I've seen, I've quit pornography better when I'm going to the gym. This is what I've seen, and it's what you could possibly see. It doesn't work for all people, most likely. It doesn't work for all people. but it might work for you. And so you have to keep that in mind. Remember, whenever you're going to give up porn, you're not giving it up. Porn does nothing good for you. So you want to give it, you don't want to give it up. You want to be free from pornography. You're not giving up anything. What you're giving up is a lifetime of misery. You don't want a lifetime of misery. I would freely give up a lifetime of misery. You want to give up a lifetime of misery. You want to be free from pornography. You want to be free from a trap, a porn trap that will destroy you. This is what you're trying to be free from. You want to make sure to have the correct frame of mind. Porn does nothing good for you. Keep this in mind as we keep moving on. This is one of the most important keys that you want to keep in mind. Giving up pornography. Don't think you're giving up anything. The feeling of deprivation is exactly why you keep going to your pornography site. You feel like you're being deprived of something and you feel like you're giving up something. Don't. You're not. You are being led into a trap constantly. The easiest way to quit porn, the feeling of deprivation, getting rid of the feeling of deprivation will be the hardest thing of the easiest method ever. Overcoming the feeling of being deprived, not pornography. You're not overcoming pornography. That's going to be hard. Overcoming the feeling of deprivation from pornography is going to be the hardest part. It's not actually going to be quitting pornography that's going to be hard. Like I said before, quitting pornography is going to range from relatively easy to enjoyable. Quitting pornography has so many benefits compared to the other. If you kept watching porn, you would be erectile dysfunction, anger, depression, and anxiety, along with a myriad of other things. You don't want to keep watching porn. I know you don't want to. You're watching this video and you watched till close to the end of this video already. And you're about to hear the method. And you're going to hear a few tips about this method that later on will come to help you. And after you hear about the method, which will be in this next chapter, I will go ahead and give you a few pointers after that on the types of porn that you're going to give up. On the type of things that you're going to have to do after you quit pornography for the final time. You may have already did your final visit. And if you have, rejoice. Be happy. Don't be sad. You are enjoying this. You have to enjoy it in order to quit. There's a reason I took my final visit and never looked back. Get up, sing, dance, yell out hallelujah. You are no longer a slave to the trap. You are no longer a slave to the trap. So you are not giving up anything. You're escaping. You're being free from a lifetime of slavery. Getting that in your head. Porn does nothing good for me. This is the most important thing. You have to get rid of the mindset of feeling deprived of pornography and overcome that deprivation feeling and change it to, I'm enjoying this because I'm no longer a slave to a trap that did nothing for me. Hallelujah. Just, isn't it marvelous? Is what you should be saying to yourself. Just constantly reassure yourself you have made an amazing decision. You would have never been happier. And I can't believe I didn't make this decision sooner. Be happy when you quit pornography. Don't be sad. It is the greatest thing you could have ever done. The method. Read the book, The Easy Peasy Method to Quitting Pornography. This video won't be having everything that you're going to need. However, it will be a summary of the book itself. It's got my own personal added details to it, which gives me the reason why I quit porn. And it may help you or it may not. The different things that I've done personally and added to it. But for me, it has helped greatly. So, the easy peasy method to quit pornography. It's a must read before you actually quit pornography. So, read this. You can rewatch the video if you don't feel like you want to quit pornography still, or you can reread the book if you don't feel like quitting pornography as well yet as well. And be happy when you're quitting pornography. You have probably made your final visit, or you still want to have your final visit. But the whole thing is you have to make it final. So was that your final visit? Or are you going to keep having this thought of, well, do I need a final visit? Then yes, you do need a final visit. Get it clear in your mind. In the book itself, there's a chapter. The final visit, chapter 28. It'll have a final warning, and once you do it, you have to get clear of 2 points. Do you feel certain of success, that you will succeed? Absolutely. You have to get this clear before you quit. Do you feel a doom and gloom or a sense of excitement that you're about to achieve something marvelous? Which one do you feel? Doom, sadness, moping, or happiness, joy, excitement, and marvelousness that you're about to quit pornography? Which one do you feel? If you feel marvelous that you're about to quit pornography, you're on the right path. If you feel doom and gloom that you're not going to be able to stand this period of time without pornography, then you're not there yet. Reread the book and rewatch this video. Do you feel certain of success? Are you 100% sure that you're going to quit pornography after this? Just say in your mind, yes or no. Be honest with yourself. I know you can. Just reread the book, be certain of success, and absolutely say, this is my last time. This is the last time. This is the last time. What I did was I quit in November, and that was my final visit, but I didn't read the book until December. So I just applied that to that final visit. I am certain of success. I am more happy than ever. I am excited by the fact that I quit pornography. And you should be too. To people who are currently on the path to quitting pornography, don't be jealous or envious of people who watch pornography still. You're not missing out on anything. Pornography does nothing good for you. Get that in your mind. This is a point I'm driving home. Pornography does nothing good for you. With your final visit done, already done. Don't watch this part until you finish your final visit, which hopefully you already have done your final visit, and you have a feeling of excitement, enjoyability, and you're excited to do this, because that's how you should feel. You're quitting something that was destroying you. So sound like it, dance like it, sing like it, do whatever, express to yourself. You are quitting pornography. You are being freed from slavery. That's the purpose. That's the purpose of the book, is to realize that you're quitting something that was horrible for you. Rejoice, be happy, because you're quitting a habit that was literally constricting you. Be happy now. Enjoy life. and live life knowing that it's better now without pornography. My advice to people who quit: listen to the audiobook, reread the book multiple times while you're quitting pornography. Just keep reading the book to solidify the points of, am I feel certain of success? Absolutely. Do I feel happy that I've quit pornography? Yes. Keep keep reassuring that in your mind. Write it down on a piece of paper, post it on your wall. I am happy that I've quit pornography and I've never felt better. Just keep that in your mind. Write it on your screen paper or whatever it is, wherever you want to keep it. Keep it as the main focus. That you're happy that you quit pornography, and I'm certain that I've kicked it. I'm no longer going back. You are no longer a slave to the porn trap. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So make sure to reread and re-listen to this video if this helps at all. A lot of people and influencers online that go into the nofap era and do it completely wrong on two different occasions, which is the streaks and the cutting down. Those two are different aspects, but they don't work as good as this method, as what I've seen now, because I've enjoyed quitting porn. I've never felt happier quitting pornography. Uh, I felt happier in this past month than I have this entire year because I've quit pornography. So be happy now. Enjoy yourself with knowing that you've quit pornography and you're free from slavery. Enjoy it now. You're free.